You can't even talk about the external world until you begin to focus on the internal world. And when I did that, wow, my life changed because I began to grow. So if you're just using the iPhone as a way to be entertained, you waste a lot of time. How do you organize yourself at the highest possible level and make it work for you? It really is about self-empowerment, self-efficacy, self-development, all the self stuff, self-discipline.
Wat maakt iemand echt succesvol? Is het meer dan cijfers en status? In deze podcastserie ontrafel ik het geheim achter dat succes. En hoe kunnen we deze geheimen toepassen in ons eigen leven? Geen maskers, maar echte verhalen die raken en inspireren. Stedman Graham is wereldwijd bekend als identity leader en educator. Een man die al decennia lang leiders, ondernemers en atleten uitdaagt om één fundamentele vraag te beantwoorden. Wie ben je eigenlijk? Zijn filosofie is even eenvoudig als radicaal. Je kunt pas anderen leiden, teams bouwen of een bedrijf laten groeien als je eerst jezelf leert leiden. En hoewel hij zelf vaak in de schaduw bleef, is zijn invloed voelbaar in de levens van velen. Ook van de partner die naast hem staat. Dit gesprek is overigens in het Engels, dus als je aan het kijken bent, zet dan nu je ondertiteling aan. So Stedman, welcome to the Netherlands.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. So it's always a pleasure.
You're actually stating you cannot lead others until you learn to lead yourself. So when was the moment for you there personally in your life that you felt this is not just a slogan, but this is the way of life for me?
Well, identity leadership, which is one of my favorite programs. I've written a number of books around the subject matter, but identity leadership is self-leadership. It's based on the philosophy that you cannot lead anyone else until you first lead yourself. And so it really is about self-empowerment, self-efficacy, self-development, all the self stuff, self-discipline. And so it's taken me a long time to get it right, to understand that you can't even talk about the external world until you begin to focus on the internal world, which is yourself, and trying to maximize your potential based on who you are as a person.
So you were just saying it has taken me quite a long time to realize that. How come? What happened?
Well, it's a process, and you don't always know the answers. So you're searching for the answers, but for so many years I was searching for the answers on the outside and being defined by race, being defined by house and car and money and and family and all the external things, and then realize that if you're looking for real freedom, you'll never find it on the outside. Freedom is on the inside. And so when I discovered that, I realized, I have to change the learning system around, where I learn how to take information and education and apply it to my own personal professional development. Mm-hmm. And you learn how to read a lot, you learn how to organize a lot, you learn how to organize experiences and make them applicable to your development. And when I did that, wow, my life changed because I began to grow. I began to create a better life for myself today than I did yesterday.
What happened when you found out about that? What happened for you?
Well, what happened is that
next to what you just described,
you start to self-actualize who you are.
Yeah.
And you start to grow out of doing the same thing over and over every day. Most people, they wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream that's Monday. And they repeat that same cycle over and over. So if you did the same thing you did yesterday, as you will do today, as you will do tomorrow, what have you done? The answer is probably nothing, because you've done the same thing.
It's almost the saying of Einstein, right?
You're not thinking, you're not developing. Like Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mindset that caused it. So you need to be a thinker, you need to be a developer, a builder, a designer of your own future. Otherwise, the world will define you and put you in a box, and then you'll do what they want you to do, as opposed to you having a mind of your own to be able to self-actualize your own potential.
So did it for you give a kind of a relief to find out I can be entitled to my inner world and I can steer it consciously somehow?
Well, what I realized is that the process of success is the same for everybody. And some people know it and some people don't know it. And so when you find out who you are, which is very important to be able to find out, what you're good at, what you become an expert at, what you do well, what are your strengths, what are your talents, what's your purpose in life, what's meaningful in your life, then you have a foundation for organizing content and information. Otherwise, you're just going to school and you're taught to memorize and take tests and repeat the information back. You get labeled with a grade, and 2 weeks later, you forget the information. So you don't really learn anything. You just have a degree and you go out and get a job. And nothing wrong with that. But you need to be able to grow in that job, become more of an expert in that field to make it sustainable over a long period of time. It's probably more important today than ever before in the history of our world, because now we have access to information. This is the information age. And we also have access to technology, and AI, which allows us now to be able to take that information and apply it to our own development.
But was it a relief for you when you found out that you can change the way you were living?
Yeah, it was a relief for me. It changed everything about my life. It allowed me to be, I think, in the present. It allowed me to predict my future. It allowed me to visualize not who I am, but who I could become. It allowed me to be engaged. It allowed me to search for information that I needed to fill the gap or gaps. So it allowed me to be more competitive in the global marketplace today.
What I find so interesting amongst one of the many things in you, Stedman, is that your incredible ease and laid backness, but within that is hiding, I would almost say, a kind of a cougar who knows where and how to score for that success.
Well, I would say that I'm probably pretty intense, very passionate about this work. I realize that so many people in the world can become relevant, can raise their socioeconomic development, they have the same thing I have and that you have. They have the possibility. We live in a global marketplace today. We have access to technology, and it's a shame if they're not able to become better human beings and improve their existence based on the world we live in today. So if you're just using the iPhone as a way to be entertained, you waste a lot of time. And to be able to turn that iPhone around, those machines around, and then leverage tools and the resources and the opportunities that we have available to us today is really a gift. And when you get that, you can be quiet, you can be cool, but you're also working. When I leave, I'm working 24/7. So, and because I have something to work on, because I'm creating that, and I want to be able to help as many people as possible around the world to find to take them through that same process.
Yeah. Because as you were just saying, there are many people like you, like everyone here sitting, who have possibility, right? But what is the difference then between using that possibility and knowing how to succeed with that possibility? Because many people are just not getting there. What's the reason?
Yeah, you have to be taught, I think. You need a system. Again, you need a process. When I realized that I could process, and it's called thinking, called cognitive ability to be able to organize information and make that information work for you. That's what real education is all about. And so when you discover that, it's like, wow, I've missed my whole life. It's passing me by. I'm getting older, but I'm not wiser. I'm not as focused. ADHD, I'm all over the place, you know. So when you find that base, that core base that you could build from, you're not so concerned about the external world and how it works. You're more concerned about your contribution as a servant leader. You can't drink from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, beautiful. I believe so too. It's great to be a servant of a greater goal and for society than just only being busy with your own thing, right? Then you're back again in that outer world you were just describing. And for doing so, actually, you would need first to know yourself, because if you don't know yourself, you can also not break open those possibilities.
And it's consistent. I mean, it's constant and consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to be focused. Whatever you focus on expands. You have to be driven. It drives you. You have to have the discipline to be able to maintain it over a long period of time. You have to be hungry. And it's exciting because now this iPhone thing, this technology is just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's taken quite some time.
Yeah, to be able to have access to that as a way to source content and then apply that content to every part of your life based on what you love and what makes you happy. And to be able to organize yourself at every level, to be able to travel and have a message that's consistent with empowerment for people everywhere. I mean, it's pretty special.
You will need many years more to live and to enjoy this, don't you think?
I don't have enough years.
Yeah.
I need more years.
Yeah. Well, let's
but
go
also,
back.
I mean, it's enjoyable. So, I mean, when you can enjoy the lifestyle and at the same time serve humanity, it's pretty special. And to maintain happiness around your gifts and your talents, it takes a long time to get that right.
Yeah. About that time.
Easy
right?
to talk about.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Very easy to say, you can do this, you can do that. You know, you need to know who you are, you know, well.
And have discipline and work hard.
It takes a long time to get that right.
Yeah. About that time, Stedman, about earlier years, going back to Whitesboro, where you were raised, and having your parents, your mom and your dad, and you told me my dad was a painter and he earned $3 a day, right?
Yeah, during depression and during tough times.
So if you look at that and the time span with which you are living at that time, and a complete different circumstances, of course, like what kind of lessons from your dad do you still live today?
Well, I think the lesson from my father is that don't give up, don't quit, keep going. You don't have to be the smartest person, you know, or the strongest, but just keep going and do the best you can every single day and work hard. You know, I have a strong work ethic because I used to work with him all the time, and he worked every single day except Sundays, from early in the morning to late at night. And so I learned a lot from him based on that, watching him every single day. So I owe him a lot of gratitude around that, and my mother for the sacrifices they made for myself and my family.
Is that something that you think about also still a lot, about your parents and how they helped you to move forward also with their attitude?
I used to drive and the tenacity and the determination, and I think about them all the time. What would they do? How would they handle this situation? Would they give up? You know, all of that. So that's a huge thing, to be able to have the drive and the tenacity, not to give up, not when things are going good. You know, everybody can do great things when things are going good. It's when they're going bad.
Exactly.
It's when it's tough. Yeah. It's when you don't know what the answer is going to be.
where you have to be adaptive.
And you have to have faith and keep going. And so that you don't even, that the answers will, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So you just, success is when preparation meets opportunity. So you just keep working on preparing yourself.
So those were your first teachers, of course, your parents. And then sports, army, discipline, I would say. What kind of other talents did it develop for you?
Sports was such a major thing for me. I would not be here without sports.
Playing basketball
and going to practice every day and running when you don't want to run and the coach says go out there and run two more laps or another mile, and you're exhausted. And so it gives you the tenacity, the discipline. Discipline's a huge thing to be able to do things that you don't want to do.
How do you do that? When there's something that you don't want to do and you still have to go and do it?
Well, I've been doing it for years because, this program just didn't appear overnight. This is 30 years of work. So I've been working on trying to figure this strategic design. What does that look like in terms of creating success? And we're still working on it. And now you have technology, so now you got to shift a little bit and build courses and design programs and create systems and work with folks and,
I see your face changing too.
Yeah, I'm changing. I started off a little slow.
I'm sorry to have brought you in this in this pool of feelings.
Well, now we're into it, okay?
Yeah.
It's the real deal. It's no joke. So it's, it's called Figure It Out because there's no book for it.
Out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you have to, it's trial and error sometimes. It's failure a lot of times. You fall down, but you got to get back up. It's reading constantly. It's trying to get the information and trying to put it together. It's a small step process of building small steps over and over and over.
But that is something that I mean, you've done that in sports. You've done it also at home with your father, over and over, making small steps, getting there slowly. Is this something that helps you on those days that you are not feeling to do something that you actually should be doing?
It helps me to have a little bit of faith.
That you will get there. You're on the right path.
I'm on the right path because I just refuse to quit.
Yeah.
And I can't control it because you don't know what's going to happen. And I think it really is the man upstairs who really controls all of it. And, if you plan it, you'll mess it up. So you got to be able to...
your faith is very strong.
Believe in yourself and then turn it over to the higher power to be able to figure it out. Because you're operating at a deficit for the most part.
But then getting back on the world with your feet on the ground, having said that, just turning it over to the greater power. You just stated that if you have the right student, the right teacher will appear. So which teacher appeared for you during your life? Do you have a few examples? And also now when you are busy with that great technology?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many role models coming up. I had coaches, I had, I had church leaders, I had 4-H, I had school, I had sports, but so many people, were just so helpful in my development, and it was really difficult because you had to deal with, race-based consciousness, thinking you can't make it because of the color of your skin. 2 special need brothers in your family, tough to deal with. Being called names, being teased, all of that. So it was not easy getting through that. Because I grew up with low self-esteem and lack of confidence in myself, so you don't think you're good enough. which is probably the worst thing that you could actually have as a human being, the fact that you don't think that you're good enough, to have that image of yourself, and to be fighting yourself all of the time and not knowing how to deal with that. And so being able to understand how to find out who you are and have something you can build upon consistently is a great lifesaver for me.
I can imagine when you're saying all these things, and you having lived through those deep processes, it must be really special to you to be able to help others to get forward right now with those kind of problems and things that are challenging or putting you down or making you believe that you are not good enough indeed to get forward.
A lot of people in that situation.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised at all levels, all races, all nationalities, all over the world, different languages, different cultures. And so that's what you realize when you travel around. Is that we're all basically the same. Mm-hmm. We have a lot in common.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the process, the 9-step success process, which is what I teach people how to find out who they are, how to create a vision for themselves, how to develop a plan, how to organize goals, how to manage their relationships, how to build a dream team around that, how to organize content, how to learn. All those things are very important in terms of self-actualization and becoming a better person. And in the end, trying to raise your social economic development where you can enhance your own value and also be able to help your family and other people around you based on your leadership.
Yeah. So traveling has given, of course, a lot of insight in the fact that we have universal values. And when I asked you for your 3 most important values, you stated it's trust, flexibility, and love. Can you
I think
explain a bit more?
The foundation of my existence, is negative. I look at the glass half empty before I look at the glass half full. The transformation is always love. The transformation is always looking at the glass half full as opposed to half empty.
Yeah, but how do you make that transformation?
Well, you have to first change it with your thinking. And then you change it with your feelings, and then it becomes actionable based on the law of attraction. Law of attraction says whatever you put out comes back. So when you turn your energy around from negative to positive, then things happen that are positive as opposed to negative. So it's just 2 choices that you have every day. It's either negative or positive, good or bad, will or won't, looking at the glass half empty or half full. So you have to retrain your thinking. You have to manage your energy. You got to be able to turn it around based on knowing that if you focus on the negative, that's exactly what you're going to get back.
Mm-hmm. So I found it really beautiful what you just said. You said love is always the key to turning things around.
Absolutely. So that's your foundation. That's why when you talk about identity is based on a positive identity anyway. It's based on what you love and what you can organize around your talents and your skills that you love. So you can sustain something over a long period of time and learn it because you love it. And when you get that, then that becomes a great opportunity to curate resources and opportunities and information and learning around what you love, right? Which allows you to have a strong base and a core you can go back to all the time because it replaces all of the obstacles that sometimes get in your way just because it's life. You're dealing with life.
Would you say nowadays that during this period of time that we're in at this moment, that the world is out of love a lot of times? I mean, there's a lot of war going on, exclusion, isolation, countries are isolating themselves. So what's going on there?
The transformation is always love. Transformation is always trying to be positive. The transformation is always having good energy and doing the best for humanity. So,
So how do you look at those those conflicts then that we are dealing with? All?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's a leadership issue. It's based on what the leader feels about themselves and what the leader thinks about themselves. So, but I would, what we like to say is that, and I like to say is that, work on yourself. Yeah. Work on your own area of influence.
But there are, of course, many people who do not want to do that even. Who rather would say, well, this is me, this is my life, that's just it, and that's it.
Yeah, I think being able to do the best you can with what you have and where you are is really the answer. And sometimes you're dealing with all kinds of circumstances that get in the way. You can take the high road or you can take the low road. You can make the best out of it or you can let it destroy you. So it's really hard if you've been programmed to think that you can't do it and that you're not good enough. And you're in this socially constructed and designed box that tells you how to live your life and tells you what choices you need to make. And if they become negative, that's exactly what you're going to get.
This is also, you were just saying about the box that people can feel that they're in and you're just getting the same, more of the same that you had. Now the thing is, fear kicks in. Fear kicks in of the unknown. Where am I going to? What's that goal? And fear of stepping out of the comfort zone. And I know that you're teaching this and helping people to get forward, but it's quite something. I mean, can you give us an example of how you've stepped out of a moment of fear?
Well, I try to focus on what I can do and organize my life around things I want to create and design for my own future. And so love is gives me a foundation for doing that.
So
I tell people, I write a lot, so I tell people, to find out who you are, you need to write down everything you love in your life.
Yes.
And then organize all the information around that and then start to build that based on what you can create and design for your, design that will make you happy.
Is that what you did? Did you write things down for yourself?
Write it down and organize it.
But I mean, coming from where you just said that you were coming from, Stefan,
yeah.
Then you need a lot of patience.
You need a lot of time to discover that. That's why I actually teach this, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm teaching people what I learned, because I was searching for it, trying to fill that hole up in my own heart and try to find a way that I could self-actualize my own potential, because I was put into a box and I was defined by race and by family and by relationship. And so I wasn't comfortable with that. And so I realized that if I'm looking to define my own existence as opposed to being defined by somebody else, where is that freedom? And it's an inside job. So, and I created the opportunity for myself to be able to, do what I say I'm talking about, which is to organize my passions, my talents, my skills, my ability as a foundational base for organizing content. You could not get any better than that today because we have access to information, and it is the information age. So the source information and make it relevant to our personal and professional development and what makes us happy is a great start.
At the same
time, all the foods that you love, all the places you love to travel to, all the work that you love, people that you love, all of those things that are relevant to your empowerment. As opposed to, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I hate myself, all of those things that are not empowering.
All the things you're mentioning has been a lot to overcome for you.
Yeah, so I mean, it's changed my life, and then learning how to learn. So the ability to be able to take information and apply it to my development, again, my personal professional development, and is unbelievable. So that you become a reader all the time, and you become an organizer of information. Order is the highest level of development. And you dream differently. I mean, there's an English poet that says, "All people dream, but not equally. Those who dream in the dusty recesses of their mind, they wake in the morning to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous people, for they dream their dreams with open eyes, and they make them come true." So to have a thought, and then to be able to self-actualize that thought through reading and learning and development is really the opposite of how we're taught in school.
At the same time, this moment of great technology and advancement, it's something that also sometimes, if I talk about myself, Stephen, sometimes it's overwhelming me because it's going so fast. I love it. I love to use it as a tool, but you can also sometimes you can even feel that you're getting to the border of being totally sucked up in it. I mean, to stay with your own identity in this time, it's a challenge.
I don't know how you do it today without an identity. I don't know how you do it
it's
without
something
knowing
even
who you
more
are.
to put emphasis
I don't know
on.
how you do it.
Yeah.
I think you got about 8 billion people who are probably stuck, and don't know themselves. And again, the technology is unbelievable. If we can organize it around ourselves, use it as a learning tool, YouTube and all the videos and.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you. But isn't that also a thing that can be, for many people? Many people don't know themselves yet, and not knowing yourself, and then stepping into all this technology. What will that bring, you think?
It's just entertainment for the most part, and it gets people to use their time. I mean, it's very entertaining, and you get stuck up on it, and you can watch it forever for the most part. And so every once in a while, I catch myself doing it because, you're just...
Sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
But to be able to turn it around and use it for application of who you are as a person and what you love and what makes you happy so you can build that every day, that is like, wow, man, that is so special.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel the duality in it. Do you? The duality of being able to use that great technology in when you know yourself, that you can make... Yeah, you can get organized in it and
you
make
said
it
the
work.
word. You said the word. You get organized.
Yeah.
How do you organize yourself at the highest possible level and organize your time and make it work for you is what we're saying. So you got to turn this whole learning process around and then create a vision based on not who you are, but who you can become, and then set goals every day. And self-actualize your potential based on that.
Yeah. Step by step, right? Step by step.
Small steps.
Small steps.
Yeah.
To
and
get to the goal.
While. It takes a while to align all of this.
You said 30 years.
Well, I spent 30 years developing this process, but I don't want you to take 30 years doing it.
Well, thank you. That's very kind
so
of you.
We try to teach it at an early age so that young people get it. So they can, they got more years and more time. So if we can shortchange their opportunities so that it doesn't take so long, that's also a goal of ours.
Yeah, which is a great goal. I mean, that's really contributing to so many people's lives and also to our society and the world on itself, don't you think? So that's great about this, because I can feel your goal being there to outroll your vision and your identity teachings in Europe, the world? What are you up for? What's your new vision?
Well, I think one person at a time is great, and then we can probably scale that a little bit. But being able to make sure it works for you and that you can see the results. And we do that anyway through the workshops and virtual workshops and through our courses and materials and all of that. And it takes a long time to execute a system that has impact on one person at a time. And we still continue to work on that because now we have technology and we have AI.
Yeah, you do.
So things keep changing
Yeah.
and developing. And so, but again, it's helpful to have all of those tools that help us improve the quality of the work that we're doing.
I see also many people on the internet and on the social media and into this kind of work who are screaming a lot. And you are the sophisticated leader who is more steering in wisdom, I would say, the more quieter kind. How do you manage to be such a character in this world where everybody has to go outside and continuously profiling to the outside?
Yeah, we're just trying to get something that really works and that, you need to take your time on it. You need to understand the value of it. And it needs to work. So you need to have a good product and a good program. And so that's why it takes 30 years. Because you're trying to get it right, and you're not just throwing something up against the wall, but you're looking at all the ways you can communicate the opportunity.
Yeah. Does that also add up to the idea of what you were mentioning before? When you have the right student, the right teacher will appear. I mean, so you are, by a universal way of law, attracting those kind of students towards your work by itself. They know where to find the good things, you would say? Yeah,
I think all of that, all of the above, just working on the philosophy, the messaging, the marketing, all of that, it's a lot. The technology, the infrastructure, it takes a lot of time and effort to do that. I mean, we're in the education business. We focus on corporate America also. We focus on a lot of different segments of the market. So, we're just trying to make sure we have a good program that people can buy into or be a part of and they feel good about it.
If you look at America right now, what do you see is necessary for the country?
Well, I see that people need to go back to self-determination and working on themselves, and things are changing so fast all around the world that, it's very important to be able to know who you are and know how to source content that's relevant to your development.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, and, you may not have a 401k, you may not have Social Security in the future, you may not have a pension in the future, and so you may have 17 different jobs. So you need to be a thinker, a learner, a developer. You need to be self-directed. You need to be a lifelong learner, and take more control over your social economic opportunities. You could not have a better time to live than now, because we have access to information we never had access to all over the world. You can reach people in a matter of seconds through the technology today. So if you can apply that to your own personal, professional development and things that you love and care about, focus on that, align that with the resources and opportunities that the world has to offer, then you'll beat out those 8 billion people who are doing the same thing over and over every day.
Hey, what about your future? Do you hope to keep on working until the end of your days, or?
Yes.
What would be your greatest pleasure?
Well, greatest pleasure is every day it's a pleasure. So, it's not easy, but it's great working in this field. and self-actualizing my own potential and working to help other people find their potential. And, it's a beautiful process for me.
And what about...
And it's not easy.
No, but nobody said it was easy, right?
It's not easy, but it's gratifying.
Yeah, exactly. You were also talking about it gave you all this work also gave you your fiancée, as you state her. Now, I know that it's not your favorite topic to talk about your partner, and I can really relate to that. I mean, it's difficult, I would say, to be in the eye of the storm in a very big country in the world, which is America, and to have you and your girlfriend Ofra, I call her your girlfriend, to be together already for 35 years. I mean, that says a lot about your strength and your inspiration to each other. How would you describe that?
Well, I would not be able to do this work without her influence and
because
her
how?
inspiration, her knowledge. She's one of the greatest communicators in the world, and it's just, I am blessed, to even be in her company, So she's an extraordinary person, and I can't say enough about her. I've never seen anybody like her. She's one of a kind, and so I'm just grateful for the opportunity to just to know her.
So when you are here, you miss her every day?
Well, I would say that it is, she is very special.
Yeah, but I see your eyes twinkle, so you're kind of trying to keep it hidden, but it's there.
Yeah, so what she's done for the world, I mean, she has a school, she's educated all of those children, she's has programs at Morehouse College. She's, put a lot of folks through school. She does things nobody knows about. She gives her heart and soul to the world. She's helped so many people for 25 years with her show. Every book that's been on her show has gone to, to a bestseller, number one. Every one that I know of. That's pretty phenomenal for a woman that's coming out of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, and has an outhouse in the back, and grew up with a dysfunctional situation with family and all of that, and had to wait through all of that. And so I don't know what else you could say. I think we need to close this right now because that's major.
It is major. At the same time, when you...
And inspire so many women.
Definitely.
Especially women around the world.
Definitely. I also believe the intersocial contact between all those differences and trying to find out how to self-develop. I mean, you must have together this enormous base of recognition where you're coming from, how to work hard, how to develop.
Yeah, I mean, it's been... just such an inspiration for me. So,
well, it must also be vice versa, Stepman, because it's not easy to be the partner of somebody very well known. So, I mean, I just want to give grace to you, actually, of holding that space and being capable of being a real true man, and also staying true to yourself and everything that you are outrolling, which is just amazing.
Well, again, being able to find out who you are, as opposed to having the world define you. That's it. You're able to define yourself. Yeah. And so I just think that message is relevant to everybody. Yeah. Is, work on yourself, self-actualize your own potential.
Not being defined by your relationship also.
Well, also don't turn your power over to somebody to define you, because they will always define you as less than. So to be able to do that is just very, very, very important for all of us, especially now.
Yeah. And you're living the example, Stedman, which I greatly
I'm
respect.
doing the best I can do.
Yeah. So if we would give you in our lovely country, which we love dearly, in Utrecht Central Station, we have this big billboard. And everybody who's getting to work, who you were just describing, who is maybe tired, or still rubbing the sand out of their sleepy eyes, or who are awake and going to their goal. And you can leave a message there on that billboard. What would you write there?
I'd write identity leadership, work on yourself.
I think it will get things moving. Thank you so much.
Thank you.